Hey brides and grooms, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Wedding Party Wednesdays. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Amy and I am your gift strategist. I am here to help you create memorable gifting experiences for your wedding party without the stress and the overwhelm. Wedding Party Wednesdays is the series that I started to just, where I share tips about gifting your wedding party. And over the last few weeks, we have been talking about creating a plan and the different parts of the plan for gifting your wedding party. We've been talking about figuring out what to get as gifts for your wedding party. And this week, I want to talk about the very last part of the plan. Now, if you think that searching and looking at all the pretty gifts that everyone else have created for their wedding party is fun, that's not it. This is the fun part. This is really the fun part of creating the gifts for your wedding party. It's the fourth and final part of the plan, and that is the shopping and creating the gift presentation, right? You get to create something beautiful for your wedding party. So let's talk about it. Now, at this point, you should know what items you are looking for, and you are zeroing in on finalizing the exact items and where you're going to get them from. So at this point in your plan, you should already have this information or finalizing this information. So any searching that you do at this point should be very targeted for an exact item, trying to find where you can purchase it from. When you finish, you should know the exact item. When you finish with this process, you should know the exact item, the price, and where you're going to purchase it from. So you can now finalize, like once you have that information, you can now finalize what vessel you're going to use and your other finishing touches for your gift. Right? So now let's think about what we love the most when we see and open a gift. And I'm talking about us. When we see a gift, when we receive a gift, when we see the gift, and when we open a gift, what do we love the most? A lot of the times, what you see first is the colors of the gift. You see the outside first. You're going to see the colors. When you open it, you're going to see the colors, right? So the first thing you want to choose is is to make sure that you choose colors that are complementary to each other. And this is aside from your wedding colors, right? A lot of the times you will probably use your wedding colors as the color scheme of the gift. So you want to make sure that the items that you choose are complementary in color to each other, regardless of whether they're in your wedding color scheme or not. So you want to think about that color scheme that you have chosen. Most of the time when, you're a bride, you have written down the colors that you want. You have found swatches, and you want to kind of do this the same way for the gift. You want to look at those colors next to each other and be sure they look exactly as you imagine them in your head for your gift, right? So you know what those colors look like for your wedding. Imagine those colors in a box, right? And see how they look next to each other. Then after you make sure that the colors that you chose are complementary, and these are the colors on the items, right? You want to choose your vessel. And this can be a box, bag, or basket, whatever you choose to put the gift in. You can do that. You want to choose the vessel that you will present your gift in. And you want to be sure you know the size of the items so that you can figure out which vessel will work best for the items that you chose. So I tend to like a box. But I have also selected baskets and bags as vessels for some of my clients and for some of the gifts that I have given personally. So it's really up to you. You just have to make sure that it fits the gift items that you chose, and that it fits and works best for the gift items that you chose. So then next, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much stuff into your gift. A lot of times we want to put everything into the gift. We want to put everything into the bag box or basket that we chose. But you want to choose those things that will be the most meaningful to your wedding party. Those things that will be the most impactful for them and for the experience that you're trying to give them. So remember that you want it to be, you want to make it meaningful and pretty at the same time. Then you want to decide how you will arrange the items in your box, bag, or basket. So let's say you have a box. You have the items and your box, and you want to take some time to figure out how you will arrange them in that box. You want to arrange them in a way that makes the eyes dance around when they open the gift. And you want to have like one particular thing. If there's one particular thing you want them to focus on, you want that thing in the center, so that when they open the box and look down into it, it's the first thing they see. And then their eyes will dance around to the other things that you have strategically placed in the box, to make their eyes dance around in delight, right? Then the next thing you want to do is choose your ribbon. You want to choose your tissue, and if you're using a box or basket, you want to choose a filler. So often this is left as the last thing, but it should be thought about up front, especially the colors that you need, because you may have to order it. A lot of times, if you have to order it, it may take a little longer than you expect to get it, especially if you can't run right into the store and get the exact color that you need to go in there. So you want to think about that up front. So if you're not using, I know everybody doesn't use ribbon. So if you're not using ribbon, then you want to decide if you want their names directly on let's say you're using a box, if you want their names directly on the vessel, or do you want a belly band, or do you want a tag? Do you want it to be, in vinyl, or do you want to use letters made of wood, metal, foam, or other materials? So these are things that you get to think about, right, when you're creating this presentation for your wedding party. For tissue, if you choose to add tissue, then you want to decide how it will coordinate, how you will coordinate that, right? Will it be a solid tissue paper, or will it be one that has a print? And there are a lot of options for tissue paper. You can even get a custom tissue made for your boxes. Now you want to, if you're going to use filler, I tend to like filler. If you're using a box or a basket, you're likely going to want to have filler in there. So you want to make sure you get enough filler in the right color for your gift. So I like the filler. I think that it makes the gift look nicer. And if you are definitely if you're using a box or a basket, like I mentioned. But but the one thing about filler, you have to make sure that you have enough filler. The filler is not just an accessory, you guys. It is actually used to make sure that the items don't move around in the box or the basket. If you use a basket, it's used to make sure that it doesn't move, that your things don't get broken. If you have glass items, then you want to make sure that you do have enough filler in there, so that they stay where you put them and that they don't slide around and that box or that basket fall out and break, or slide over to another item, clash with it and break. Especially if you're shipping it, it's going to be important that you keep that you have enough filler so that thing does not wiggle around too much. And it also helps with the gift presentation so that by the time that person opens the gift, it looks exactly like you last saw it, right? And that's what you want. So lastly, the last thing you want to, but it's certainly not the least thing. It is something important. You want to decide the stationery that you want to include in your gift. You don't want to forget about the stationery. It gives you that personalized touch. No matter what, you want to include a handwritten note on a coordinating note card for your gifts, to let your wedding party know how much you really appreciate them saying yes to this task, and also how much you appreciate them for standing beside you in this journey, right? So you don't want to forget that handwritten note. It makes it more personal, right? If you are using ribbon, then you may want a matching gift tag that goes with your note card. So you want to think about that. And if you have tissue, then you probably want a matching sticker to close the tissue, right? Something that coordinates with your note card and your gift tag. So those are some things that you can think about when you think about your stationery. So these are the things that I believe will help you create a beautiful gift presentation for your wedding party. These are the things that I believe will make your gift pretty. And I think this is the fun part, because you really get to have fun with this, and you really get to stand back and look at the results of the planning that you have done in creating these gifts for your wedding party. You get to admire what you've put together, and just check it against the vision that you had to be sure that it is exactly what you had in mind, what you thought about, and that it will create that memorable moment that you are wanting to create for your wedding party. Now, that is all that I have for you this week. So until next time, happy gifting and many blessings.